Well, what have we here? Um, Hello everybody. Today we're gonna make. I'm gonna make a. Fuck. We're gonna make a few videos. Um, as usual, I don't have a script, so we're just kind of we're gonna just go for it and see what happens, and hopefully it won't be too long. I'm gonna do a few things in like their own videos. Like I'm gonna have a video just dedicated to this, which is Guerilla. There's gonna be a couple others. That'll go into more technical stuff, and then if I'm in the mood for it, I might make one just of me fucking ranting about the 2016 Codebase again, because I remember there's one thing that I actually didn't go into on that old code. I might even, if I can find it and get it to work, I might boot up the old 2016 code. So that'll be interesting. But for now, we're gonna talk about Guerilla. I've also added some noise suppression, so audio should be a little bit better. So yeah, here we are. This is Guerilla, the old code base. Well, old. So this is the C# code base at the moment. This is the best there is. At the moment at least. As you can see, this tree doesn't fucking work. As always. I don't know why that is. Let me open them to fucking really. I think I know why. Because we need to run this in x86 mode. I think that's our problem. Oh fuck, of course. What? I I knew this was gonna happen. I fucking knew it. Give me a minute. Okay, never mind. It was just in a try catch and I just needed to do that, so I just hit continue a couple times. So here we are. Yeah, this is more like it. You can actually kind of see things now. So, before we get going, basically, let me talk about this, because I mentioned earlier, this is the C# version. The original plan was to have all the editing kits look, pretty much be in C, like the editing tools being in C#, just because they're easier to kind of quickly throw things together. And that is true, and that hasn't changed, the fact that they're easy to throw together, but the issue is that you can't really do a lot with Windows Forms. You could do stuff with WPF, which is you can get some pretty good UI there, but I found it not very easy to use. And it's also the other even more pertinent issue is that if we build up all the editing tools for under Windows Forms, then it only runs on Windows. And while I'm not really focused on Linux at the moment, that is something that I do actually want to be able to do. And so, I feel like it makes more sense to have all the tools be under something that's cross-platform. And that's whatever we made the decision to switch over to Qt, which is it's kind of annoying, but it's also like really cool for reasons that I'll go into in the video where I start showing off a couple of the Qt tools. That was my dog just flapping his ears around. I got him in my lap with me. But Guerilla is the only tool that does not actually have any sort of it's the tool that had the most development thus far. It's been rewritten like 8 times in C#, because back whenever I started it, I really wasn't comfortable with C++ very much. So I was C++. What the fuck is C++? Yeah, I didn't really know what the hell I was doing, really. So it's not enough, because yeah, I was more comfortable with C#. That's what I knew. That's what I was familiar with. So I kind of stuck to C# for a while. Tables have kind of turned. Nowadays I find C# to be kind of more restrictive and annoying to use than C++. C++ certainly takes longer. There's more you have to kind of be aware of. It is definitely a different mindset. Like, it's easier to kind of just throw things together, and C# just kind of just throw it together. But I feel like I can write competent programs better in C++. And again, the main thing is just the cross-platform ability. And and so use Qt. But I figure, hey, you know what? Before we kill off the C# code base for Guerilla, I might as well fucking show it off. I mean, because I mean, even though this is, I plan to basically pretty much bring this exact kind of like once it's in Qt, it's gonna look more or less like this. So you know. I apologize. I have to stop in a minute to take a drink because I'm thirsty. I guess I don't fucking know. So this doesn't work, but you may recognize this. This can filter. This doesn't actually do anything. I believe what this is supposed to do is you can add. Well, of course these don't do anything. These don't even. The way it's supposed to work is like you can add like filters to either filter based on either the tag class or like based on like certain. And it's filters. It's kind of self-explanatory. Like you can filter like, oh, I only want bipeds in this folder. Then you can do that here. That's how it works. Doesn't actually do anything. And then your filters, any filters that you could edit would come up in this little drop down. You can just switch between them pretty quickly. But yeah, you may notice it looks pretty much identical to like Halo 1 or Halo 2 Guerilla. Halo 2 Guerilla has the Explorer bar, which is this thing. Oh fuck. Windows Forms also doesn't have native docking support. Qt does, and it's really fucking amazing. So this will be a lot better whenever we do that. Right, so you notice that in the root we have two folders here. We have compressed and uncompressed. These do nothing. These are probably going to get named something else later eventually, but the idea is that tags can be stored in two different formats. You can have just a plain XML file, and that was basically that the idea being that would just be what tags are stored as like internally for like developers. And then in order to actually, whenever we're creating like a cache file or something that are basically making where the engine can use it, and that's whenever you would then quote compress it. Compress and uncompress are not the right the right terms. I can't fucking talk tonight, guys. Those are really not the best terms for it. I would say better be like, I don't know. I can't come up with better terms. They just don't seem. I would say like instead of compressed, it would be like compiled, and then I guess the XML would be the quote source, quote unquote. But basically, yeah, the XML would basically just be like all the actual tag fields, and then that's basically the idea is that the XML file is more resilient to layout changes. I don't know if any of these are gonna fucking load. Is it this one? No, it's not. Fuck, I gotta do the guess. I gotta play the guessing game to figure out which fucking. Oh, yep. Continue. Which tags are the ones that work? I don't even know. Is it this? Is this it? Oh wait, it's in a try block. Hold on, just continue. Oh. No plugin found. Oh fuck. Get it? Because it says fuck. Let's find one that has a plugin. What plugins do we have? Can we view them? I don't think so. Oh. Oh yeah, that's another thing. So one thing that doesn't exist in regular what's it called? In like the original Guerilla, there actually was this blank space down here. It was just empty. But if you see these two radio, wait a minute, I'm looking at the fucking OBS and I'm noticing that it's not like right. Like what? That's not right. That's not where my mouse is. What? Oh fuck. You can't even see the hell important that real quick. That's a problem. Can I like add like a really? That's dumb. Can I like fix that? Here, can I run this in like not tied? Can I run this in like not like DPI scaled mode? What the fuck is all these videos? Go away. Hold on. Okay, this should work much better. I've turned off DPI scaling. The problem is you can't see the icons anymore, but oh well. You can see what I'm pointing at least, which is good. So yeah. Actually, here, let me. Oh fuck, no, I can't. That won't work at all. Whatever, it'll be fine. I'm sure if you're on just you on a, I don't know. But see at the bottom here, there's this. This would just be blank space, but on here is basically since basically hierarchy view is kind of the default view of what like you'd see in like all the the Bungie games, or the Bungie kind of the original Blam tools. But a lot of the modding tools, for whatever reason, don't store it this way. I don't know why. Like it's not hard to do, I wouldn't think. Granted, we're also dealing with cache files, and it's also starting on, I believe in a lot of cases, you start off not even having all the actual tag paths. So, like, or like tag names, so those had to be guessed. So there's no hierarchy view yet. But, in like the editing tools, like assembly doesn't have it, I don't think. I think it ought to, I don't know. It probably will, but one day, but today it doesn't because there's just no demand. But, in the name of, since we're kind of borrowing a number of concepts from the Halo modding community, of course, since they kind of did a lot of stuff that helped me get into modding Halo and having a fucking clue what anything is. Part of that means that in Guerilla and the other and any tools that anything else that has this kind of thing, like view your tags, you can sort it by either hierarchy view, which is the default, or if you like your class view, you can do that too. And yeah. This XML prefix needs to be added to. Wait, or did it? Yeah, that's not there. That needs to be added to any XML tags because, as you can see, like this kind of basically this lets you know that it's an XML, like kind of tag, not an actual compiled binary tag. Oh no. Oh fuck. Oh no, what happened? No Ravens exception. Big fucking surprise. So yeah, I don't know how well this is gonna work. Because like the problem is this codebase just sucks so much and I just hate it. It's so annoying to fucking work with. Like it almost works. Can I demonstrate can I at least demonstrate the thing that I was trying to do? Oh yeah, there's like these kind of tooltips that are kind of fancy that I was started to work on. I need something that like works. Like I need to. Is it this? No. Can I dig up the old fucking code? Probably fucking not. Motherfucking damn it. This is bullshit. Okay, so I can't even show off everything. That's fucking cool. Right, hold on. Can I start this? Guerilla Legacy. Continue. Just keep going. That's not, bro. Hold on. I think I know why. Assembly name Guerilla Legacy. Legacy. There you go. Hopefully I think that's what tells it to build it as a different executable. And it failed. Big fucking surprise. And of course it doesn't fucking exist. What? It existed 2 minutes ago. Okay. That's cool. That's good. Yep. That's very, very nice. Okay, so we're just gonna skip the thing I was trying to show you. I can at least show you some of the other stuff a little bit. I can't show you everything. Basically, what I was trying to show you is basically this uses a well, to say this is the template tag. These labels are supposed to be disabled, but they're not actually. Again, this is not, none of this is finished, and this code base will never be finished. This will be finished under Qt because Qt is better. The way, basically what it would do is that if they were well, of course, if there's no plugin on it, I'll tell you this. Guerilla will use plugins much like the modding tools will use plugins. It's pretty much the same format as I showed in the previous video on the December 2020 update, the big 2-hour thing. So, also, these have values. Oh no, because there are entries. I mean, it works. It's just it's also not how fucking block entries work. Oh no, I think I know why. It's because this is supposed to have a plugin, and this is supposed to be used to test if like. Okay, so let me try to explain this without having my visual fucking aid. The way this would work is that since early throughout development, tag layouts, these like things here are gonna be moved around, removed, added, renamed, whatever. And basically, the idea is that tags themselves would be starting off like primarily they'd be an XML file, and then like you would they'd all be compiled into their binary tags, and then those would be packed into a cache file, like a map file, level, whatever you want to call it. So there's like 10 names for the same thing. And but since it'd be an XML, it would still have all the data, and so if there were any fields that were removed or that otherwise like were either is basically that couldn't be like matched properly, like these are in like this block was renamed and all its fields are like not renamed, like the ID changed or things are moved, things are removed. Well, if things are just moved around and that's it, then basically what that would do or was supposed to do is it'll just whenever it compiles this tag, it will just use the plugin, and so it wouldn't actually do anything. That would be basically it would just move it all on its own without you having to actually intervene. If fields were removed, like they're just gone, then basically there'd be a little a separate like kind of thing down, like there'd be a separate like kind of similar like a comment like this. It'd be like, oh, these fields don't exist in the plugin. Make sure your plugins are up to date and make sure that and then move the data over accordingly. So basically, you just pull the data over manually. Ideally, we wouldn't do too much of that because I feel like that would certainly get annoying after a bit. Oh, good. That's not what that's supposed to do. That's fine. That'll go away when we use Qt because Qt's. As I said, Qt is good, and I can't wait to fucking show it to you, even though there's not really anything to see yet. But we'll get there. But yeah, that's basically what that would do, and then you'd have invisibles. I don't think there's any in here that would actually show up. Unused fields, that'd be the same. I think that'd be the same thing. That'd be those any like fields that don't exist in the tag. Basically, the fields that don't exist in the plugin anymore. So those basically the game engine would never see them because whenever you compile a tag, the data doesn't get into there because it's not in the like layout. And then whenever we do it, they would all have red, like kind of red background. Whenever there's no plugin found, it'll basically make you can't add new block entries because it doesn't have like that base template to go off of. Obviously, you can't export the tag or compile the tag for the engine to use, and you can't anything else that's plugin dependent, like tooltips, like proper like informative tooltips, display names. Like you'll see, this is just the ID. All these fields have basically there's IDs and there's display names. The display name is the actual like human friendly kind of readable name. It says property name, that's just a placeholder. It's not being loaded properly. That's a kind of a bug, but it's not going to get fixed because again we're using Qt. As I said 8 times. Basically, yeah. So you wouldn't see like the kind of tooltips or anything. You just see, and you wouldn't see display names. You just see the IDs and the raw values. The other thing, like show you unused fields, say a bit field. The way these are stored is there's just a bit, like each of these is like their own little XML node. Here actually, let me fucking just show you. Okay, here we are. This is an older plugin. But this is what it's using. I just ran it through a little thing. It appears some things didn't fucking format properly. Or is the XML thing just bust? I don't fucking... Hold on a minute. Okay, so we're gonna look at the tag instead. Like bit fields. See how there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's not. Wait, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so normally this would be this ninth one would be left and right because it's a bit field 8. That's supposed to be lit up in red, but it's not. Again, this old code sucks and is fucking barely held fucking together. I hate it so fucking much. I'm so glad we're gonna fucking use Qt and C++. So much fucking easier, I swear. But I'll rant on that later. So I guess basically this is gonna be more of a showcase of what you will see later, but better. And it actually works. Most of these menus are just, well, that opens a new Explorer bar. Okay, that's not supposed to do that. Settings. This is the Guerilla settings dialog. Because this Guerilla has settings, and you can change them. Basically, change the dot position. This will be better whenever you won't actually need to come in here to change this. You can use this to set the default. Except in Qt, you'll be able to just kind of move this around left to right, up, down, wherever the hell. Because Qt's docking is like good. And here you can type stuff in here, and if it's invalid, it'll be red. If it's not, it'll be like that. Same goes to basically plugins, compressed tags, uncompressed tags, plugins. Here, Explorer, you can turn off at startup because that's just a Halo 2 thing. You change the default view mode. You can use Visual Studio styles. You'll notice it kind of looks kind of old, like Windows 95, 98 looking classic theme. You can have it not look like that instead. With Qt, this will be actually just a theme menu because there's a theme system. Again, we'll get to that. Flat style for bit filled bits. Let me oh here, can I like I wish I could show this. Actually no, maybe I can. Maybe I could change that because I think that'll display in here too. Yes, okay. So basically classic invalid fields would just look like this. Just red text, background stays the same. You can alternatively have it look like basically the default is more like that, or it's the background that changes. It's kind of like that kind of a red. So if that's your thing, that you can do that. Unused field background, those kind of fields that didn't exist, that'd be like that. Hidden fields, there are invisibles. I can't imagine you ever actually use these because this is just kind of a carryover from like the modding tools. I'll probably leave the functionality in there for those to exist. It's just like, why would they actually be there? Halo CE color fields. I don't remember what that would actually do. I believe the color fields had 2 different ways they could look, and I think this one would change it. I don't know why it says Halo CE instead of just like classic, because I think it's just like, I'm trying to think. Is there? Did I re-implement? I don't think the color fields basically the way it was gonna work was it'd be kind of a more modern sort of color picker where you could see like the alpha in like a separate preview, and then I guess CE color fields would not do that. It'd just be exactly like it looks in the old Guerilla. Flat style for bit field bits. I can demonstrate this. So see these bit fields, it's just a regular checkbox, just kind of the same as this. Like they kind of have some depth. I don't know if you can make that out or not, but if you can, there is like kind of 3D depth to them. No, I didn't make any changes. So if we do that, and then if we open this back up, it doesn't work because I didn't fucking re-implement the functionality. Big fucking surprise. That used to work. This is going great, isn't it? Theme. What the fuck are these themes? I know a classic default are alternate ascendant assembly. Oh, I think these are supposed to be named after like alteration, and then ascension, the 2 other modding tools. Those are just, yeah, I don't. This is old. Some of these actually, again, some of these might sort of exist. We'll get to those later because that'll be most of the Qt videos. And yeah, of course, the colors for the invalid field and the classic invalid field, hidden field, you can all change those colors. Discord rich presence, by default, you can enable that, and then if you're on Discord, it'll actually show you. it'll basically show that you're editing a tag. It might it'll tell you what it'll show people on Discord what tag you're editing. But say you working on something secret and you don't want them to know, like say you're the game's released and you're making a new character mod because of fucking, I'm sure somebody will fucking do that. You know, gotta take off the Spartan's clothes, you know? You gotta you know what I'm saying. So you wanna make one of those. Say say you're just working on something secret, so you wanna basically whatever you type in here, it'll each line will act as a filter. And basically what that will do, well, it depends on based on this. We'll get that in a second. Say if I type in levels shared, then anything under levels, then well, okay, so here's how it works. If strong filtering is off, then this levels shared would be obscured with asterisks. If this is enabled, if strong filtering is on, then if it contains any of these, then it just won't show it at all. Like it won't, like if it's levels shared, it just won't even show the path at all. It'll just say, oh, classified tag. Plugins. This doesn't actually work, but basically the way it would work is that you could download. Basically, you could download older plugins. Could be automatically older for basically, say the plugins would plugins would always change with each version. You could basically, the idea is that the Guerilla would automatically download the appropriate plugin. Say if you're opening an older tag and your plugin is out of date, or your plugin is too new and we can't open this at all, you can have it do that. I don't know if that'll happen or not. We'll see. I might change my mind on that because what I've said earlier about the whole migrating stuff, but we'll see. Advanced on paint calls. Ah, yes. See, here's the other thing. If I want to make custom UI with Windows Forms, it's ridiculous. And it's so annoying. Advanced tooltips, that, what the hell? That does nothing. Alright. Okay, so, let me pull it up. That one. So this button, you probably can't tell, because it's really thin. This button, tag blocks, and I believe, oh yeah, and comments all have custom styling given to them. Custom styling, which is only made possible through these custom on paint calls, and this allows you to customize the color of those. And then that's how that works. That's the only way that works. But yeah, it's great. It's really fucking annoying to have to do, custom UI this way. So much worse than Qt. Again, can I say it enough times? Qt is better. Don't use fucking Windows Forms unless you're doing well, no, I won't say that. Windows Forms it's very easy to throw things together, but if you're trying to actually make quality UI, and you also want C++, then use Qt, because Qt is good. But yeah, that's the settings. Most these don't work. That basically, this is just typical kind of change how the windows are arranged. Like, oh, cascade tile. It doesn't work because there's nothing open. Cascade, tile horizontally, tile vertically. I have to open 2 tags for that to work. Oh fuck. Sure, it'll work. Cascade, horizontally, vertically, and arrange icons. That of course does nothing. Why the fuck would it? So we close those. These also don't work. About Guerilla. Oh yes, the artwork. This is the other thing. Artwork is probably gonna change because, see, at first I just thought, oh, it's basically a modernized version of the old Halo 1 Guerilla icon. Here's the issue though. At first I thought this was just I don't know, it's fucking, what's his name from Planet of the Apes. I looked into it, no, this is fucking, some dude named Che Guevara or some fucking shit. He's some big fucking, some guerrilla warfare guy. The problem is he's a fucking horrible person and apparently has killed a bunch of people. That might be a little too spicy to have in there. I don't know if having him as an ape changes that. I mean, nobody cared about Halo 1, so I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see. I might keep it as kind of like this. I might not. We'll just fucking have to wait and see. But full disclosure, I'm not. This is not a political statement. Don't get on me for it. It's not. It's just this is here because this is what the Halo 1 icon was, except it was older. This is like a modernized version of it. That's the only reason. Full disclosure. Check what it is that does nothing. Oh yeah, this fucking thing. See, the other thing I don't like about what's it called? About Windows Forms, that you can't use bitmap bumps, and that really bummed me out because I wanted to have it where, you know, you could have a theme where you could make Guerilla look exactly like it did, and like the old, like in you know, the old, like the original Guerilla, like in Halo 1 or 2. And so I was like, okay, well maybe there's some way I can draw like bitmap font. This doesn't quite work. It works okay, a little bit, but Qt does it better, because guess what? Qt actually can straight up support bitmap fonts, and it's like really cool. So yeah, that's how that works. Most everything else doesn't was never implemented, I think. So I think that's kind of about it, really. I guess I'll show a little bit of the backend stuff for it. Let me clean. Get rid of those fucking errors. I guess let's see. Fields. I can show you a little. I can show you a little bit of the stuff in here. Button bar. This is the old scaling element. Yes, I know. Go away. This will probably be something else that's entirely, you know, dynamic later on. Basically, like if you're gonna view, basically you'd be able to view. This would allow you to view the either tag or plugin source code if it's an XML, and then if it's a bitmap, there's real bitmaps that never actually happened. Color F. Oh, I can actually show you what the color fields would look like. Okay, so yeah, see, here we are. So this is the classic quote Halo CE color fields. And this is the new color field. Basically, there's the addition of the alpha field. You can edit that because by default, you notice that's not there. It's just RGB. Here you use RGBA. There's sliders for each ones. This will show you the actual color. Or one of these shows the color, and one of these. Oh no, yeah, that's the solid, and this one actually has the alpha color to it. Basically, and you have like a little grid. You can kind of change the alpha, and it's pretty neat. Again, these will be recreated exactly as you see them in Qt world. Comment. This is what comments are like. It's pretty straightforward generally. Bit fields, of course, the checkbox will add automatically. Tag block. Yep, tag block. Boolean. I don't know if these are actually gonna exist. I think they exist at the moment, but they'll probably get removed because they're kind of dumb. I had this idea of like, yeah, let's add a tag field. It's just a boolean, just a single checkbox. Really, you ought to be using a bit field for that? But you know, what do I know? Data ref. These never fucking got finished, and I don't know if they ever will. No, they probably will because, this kind of related to Guerilla, but basically, one significant change from Bungie's engine that we're gonna be making compared to, like basically that Blamite's gonna have, is that, if I'm not mistaken, the way like actual assets are stored in Blam is in the Halo engine is that there's it's like these things called like raw pages, where basically is all the assets are just in like they're not tied to the actual tag itself. They're kind of separate. With Blamite, assets will be inherently part of the tag. That's just going to be part of it. Like you export a tag, like the tag has the assets inside of it. There's no referencing raw pages. There may not even be raw pages, and that's the general plan. Just because, like, yeah. Now, the way that could change is if, say, we find out that having actual assets be part of the tag itself. Maybe, hey, maybe, what do I know? I don't know nothing. Maybe doing it that way is really slow, and maybe having it in a bunch of raw pages, maybe that's better and like more efficient. If that's the case, then maybe. But assuming that there's no significant performance hit by doing it like that, nothing, or at least not enough to matter, then they'll most certainly be just part of the tag. So basically, the idea is that data ref, anything like, say you have like a model, render model tag, your actual render model data would be likely in something like this, of just a raw, just a block of data, because there's no way, there's no like visualizing that. Really, I mean, I guess definitely could add a model viewer, but in terms of knowing where the actual data is, although, and I guess, now that I think about it, this would actually probably be one of those instances where you do have a, like this will, like something like this would probably be made invisible, because you really don't need to see this, and this would likely be like at the like very end of a tag, because like, you know, it's at the bottom. I don't know. It don't matter. Enums or enums. Oh, you know, those work. It's just a drop down. Just pick your thing. That's how it works. That's about all that's really special, though. I mean, that's all. This is the old Guerilla Codebase, and it sucks. Soon enough, there'll be a new C++ version built using Qt, and it's going to be a hell of a lot fucking better, because it's C++, and you have pointers in C++, and pointers are really great. Pointers are fucking amazing, and I can't fucking live without them. So, I guess that's about it, really. I mean, the only thing I can think of is maybe we'll look at the actual... What the hell is this? Event ID? I don't know what the fuck that is. What? We'll go into that later. That'll be kind of a miscellaneous video. Where's Guerilla? Oh, here it is. And then here's the Guerilla config. It has a whole thing. Basically, there's like prefixes. These are just all the different settings that you can see. And yep, that's... I guess that's about it, really. You'll notice a lot of this shit from assembly. One thing that I plan to do, and may end up still doing, but I am less confident in it as we go further along. What would be really cool is if we had a version of assembly that was modified to work with Blamite, just kind of as like sort of like a bridge between like, oh, the people who are used to making stuff with assembly versus, you know, the newer, like, you know, the actual Blamite stuff. I don't know whether, I can't say whether that'll happen or not, just because like the more I think about it and the further we go along and the further Blamite gets developed, the changes are going to be so extreme between Blamite and the Halo engine that I mean, because again, they're not the fucking same engine at all, only superficially. The only, like, it just seems like it seems more and more like the better approach would just be to make, you know, our own editing tools. But I mean, you know, maybe someday it might be. I mean, it'd certainly be cool to do. It's just a matter of, is that where we're gonna want to put our development time into? Whatever, we might be better off spent on like just making, you know, good editors that are just, you know, proper, you know, for just making games, you know, that kind of thing. So we'll wrap it up there. I'm gonna start in a second. I'm gonna make another video, talking about this kind of stuff, the Qt tools. So keep an eye out for that.